So funny story. Is it on? Yeah. Funny story. I did write a poem for you, and the Holy Spirit today has been like, do a different poem, do a different poem, do a different poem. And I'm like, no, shut up. Like, I wrote this poem. And I finally listened about 30 minutes ago, and it is about being crushed and exposing vulnerability. I walked into the career fair my freshman year of college, 3 inches taller, heels clacking on the concrete, shoulders draped in a chic blazer, mascara winging in my periphery, and it really killed my confidence when some damn neuron in my brain reached back into a springtime Saturday. So I suddenly thought of dress-up games with my little sisters, how I'd try on my mom's pumps, and they'd fall clumsily off my feet with every step. How the shoulder pads flopped to my elbows and the sleeves reached past my fingertips and her bright lipstick leaked outside the lines, and I'm trying to talk to a career fair recruiter to be an adult, but the blazer is just a little loose. Reminds me of something I would have taken from a grown-up's closet. I feel suddenly small. Can they tell I had to call my mom earlier to ask if blouses like this need to be dry cleaned? Can they tell I've eaten microwave macaroni like 6 times in the past week? Can they tell I wobble in these barely broken-in heels? Can you tell me how to go from make-believe to actually believing the things I say I do? Can you tell me what it'll take to be convinced of all the truths I try to wear? I have been told that the longest journey is from the head to the heart, but how is it that I can shape love from my breath, whisper something as sure as light into a friend's palms, then lose my own way home at night? How is it that the words of poets and pastors can echo, heavy and certain all around me, then recede into the walls the moment I try to hold them for myself? How can I know the lyrics to mercy and suffering and forget the tune when it's my turn to cry out? There are days I look in the mirror and all I can hear is the whisper of what I want to change. I try to sing Sunday school lessons, but every melody tastes stale in my mouth. I end up listening to doubt instead. It is hard to be proud of myself when every little failure buzzes just loud enough to make any success feel like a fluke, and every mistake feel as close as my skin. I spend hours in the back of the church, and grace seems a battle to fight instead of a victory to hold. I have also been told that every breakdown is a breakthrough if you let it be, and I have always been afraid to break, afraid to admit that I'm just a freshman in a blazer, and a poet who is afraid of blank pages, and a daughter who forgets to call home, and a believer who finds doubt around every dark corner. I have spent my inheritance trying to paint myself a holy statue instead of being molded like the clay I am. I have cut my hands holding up stained glass windows, those saintly images begging to shatter, and my palms are bleeding, but this is the hope, that God also had holes in his hands, that breaking is never the end, and showing the splintering has been made holy. It is the splintering manger wood that welcomes God, the helpless, squirming infant that brings nations to their knees, the disfigured, outstretched body that tears the temple veil, the broken bread and crushed grapes that open heaven. God did not just play dress up in our bruised and baggy skin, but married it, became this flesh we try so hard to cover up, this holy existence, this sloppy, unattained striving. So I am trying to listen to this hope on repeat, to give myself grace when it doesn't make sense. I am lying if I say I actually understand these lofty truths. I am trusting that since God became like me, I'll be like God someday too.